Let's take a closer look at the second WEC race 2024 in Imola. Like always, let's take a look at the balance of performance rating first to understand the result a bit better. All cars which started the first race in Qatar could reduce their ballast and increase their power. Peugeot, however, races the new Evo version with rear wing for the first time. More on this in my other videos. And like with other new cars before, the FIA is careful and gave them the highest weight. In combination with the low power output, this results in, by far, the worst power-to-weight ratio. So in terms of lap times, unsurprisingly, the Peugeot couldn't go the same speed as his competitors. At the start, the Peugeots got involved into the start crash. Later, they had a gearbox issue and needed to restart the car once. But they didn't do a mistake and finished the race 2 and 6 laps behind the leader, in 9th and 14th position. The Isotta was another new car which was compromised by its bad BoP rating in Qatar. In Imola, they were allowed to reduce the weight significantly, which gave them an average power-to-weight ratio. Also, they got affected by the start collision, went off multiple times, and ended up in the wall at one point. In the end, they finished in 16th position, 14 laps behind the leader. Two cars which got by far the best ratings were Cadillac and Lamborghini. The Cadillac had a good rating before, but couldn't reduce its weight anymore, because it was already close to the weight limit. So they increased power for the American LMDH car. But unfortunately, they had a bad weekend and finished in 10th position, 2 laps behind the leader. The Lambo, on the other hand, got through the weekend okay and wasn't even involved in the start collision, because it was too far back. The car was running reliably, but is simply lacking pace. The BMW was also close to the minimum weight and had a better than average BoP rating. The experienced WRT crew could run the cars in competitive positions, but unfortunately they got involved in the start collision, which took 22 laps to repair. And the other car got a drive-through penalty because of pit stop issues. Otherwise, this car would have had good chances for a podium. They finished in 6th position with 1 lap behind. Also, newcomer Alpine got a much better rating than in their first race. They started the race in the middle of the pack and unfortunately caused the start collision. Not only did the repair job take 2 laps, they also got a penalty for the first lap incident. So unfortunately, these were again just extended test drives for them. They arrived in 15th and 17th position, 6 and 15 laps behind the leader. The Porsches who dominated in Qatar were also allowed to reduce ballast, but not as much as others, as they got close to the weight limit. Anyway, unsurprisingly, they were still very competitive, and both works Porsches could finish the race on the podium in 2nd and 3rd position, after Ferrari's strategy problems. So Ferrari and Toyota were the two cars with, apart from the Peugeot, worst BoP rating. And still, they were very competitive. In fact, Ferrari was dominating the weekend until they decided to stay out longer during the rain, while others changed tires. So they lost their win to Toyota, who were not the favorite for the win, but they were running constantly good lap times, and with all their experience, they were securing the win. So it's interesting to see that Toyota and Ferrari with their bad ratings were still so competitive, which shows you how good these cars are. On the other hand, the Lamborghini with its very good rating is still simply too slow, and the BMW is slowly getting more competitive. So we have the front runners, Toyota, Porsche and Ferrari, a huge midfield, and the backmarkers Isotta and Lamborghini. And for the Peugeot, it remains to be seen how they will perform in Spa with probably a better rating. And one point the FIA has to be careful about is how they change the competition through their BoP ratings. It wouldn't be good for the sport if Toyota would be very competitive in Fuji, French manufacturers in Le Mans and Italian manufacturers in Italy. So, how did you like this second WEC race in Imola? Let me know in the comments below and see you at the next video.